And Men's Mental Health Awareness Day was held earlier this week across the country with the goal of normalizing and increasing open discussion of mental health in men and boys. Well, here to discuss mental health around men is Dr. Janine Hubbard in this week's Get Psyched. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks as always for having me.
This is one of those topics that just seems to not really roll off the tongue so easily for everyone. For some it is, for others it's not. But do mental health concerns present differently in men more than women?
They do indeed. One of the things that we know is that symptoms often come off as physical ailments. So things like headaches or digestive issues. For example, depression in men is far more likely to come out in irritability, anger, aggressiveness, fatigue, loss of interest in activities, as opposed to your typical thinking about sadness. And we also see it come out in alcohol use and substance use.
Why is it so important to talk about men's mental health, and maybe when you see something that's triggering and it's worth having the dialogue?
It's really important because unfortunately the numbers are really disheartening. What we know is that in this country 75% of death by suicide are by men. We know that the alcohol and substance abuse issues are 3 times more common in men. In fact, last year in BC, the 81% of the overdose deaths in the province were men. So we know that those numbers are really frightening. We also see it in things, we talked about this a few weeks ago, postpartum depression, 10% of men. And we even know that things like eating disorders occur far more often in men than we have conventionally thought about.
The suicide numbers are really staggering, and they definitely cause a pause for thought. So what can we do?
We have this conversation. There's a reason this is an annual event, but we need to be talking about it daily. We need to be mindful, like I say, especially of the fact that symptoms present differently. So you might not see someone who's conventionally looking depressed, but you might see a buddy who's, having a few more drinks. And you want to make sure you're kind of reaching out for that. Look for those physical symptoms. Look for those changes in behavior. And if I can ask for nothing else for tonight, we've got to start the conversation. We've got to make it more acceptable to be open about it. If every viewer tonight reaches out to one man in their life to say, I want to check in and see how you're doing, we can start and continue that conversation and make sure that we are talking about it. And again, remembering that it's not weak, it's not shameful to talk about mental health struggles, and we want you talking about them so that we can reduce some of those rates, particularly the suicide and the alcohol and substance use.
And Dr. Hubbard, you have provided us with some contact info. We've put up this slide here for our viewers. Maybe you can just run down a little bit about, or just a little bit about what we're seeing here.
Sure. Well, these are some kind of crisis or more emergency urgent lines. So if there is someone out there tonight that we're concerned about, please reach out to some of these. And otherwise, start the discussion with your family physician. Start the discussion with your loved one. Check out the Bridge the Gap website and reach out for help. We also know men often do better in perhaps less structured talk therapy, and perhaps it's more going out fishing with somebody, going out and doing an activity with them, and that's a way that you can get some of that discussion started.
Okay, finally, Dr. Hubbard, we really appreciate you bringing that to light, and this is why I just want to mention what I'm going to say here now, and you're not prepared for this, but here at NTV, we did want to congratulate you for your win of the State and Provincial Service Award. I understand that the association is the umbrella of the regulatory boards and sees countless nominations, but we were informed today that you, Dr. Hubbard, stood out, and it's for what you do here tonight. You were selected this year in recognition of exemplary service for your field in communication and ability. So from us to you and from all of our viewers, congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, you caught me off guard. Almost left me speechless. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll see you right back here next week.